Dan Lok's sales philosophy is fundamentally built on the principle of mastering one's psychology to gain a competitive edge in sales. This philosophy emphasizes the notion that success in sales is not solely reliant on techniques or strategies, but rather on understanding and harnessing the psychological dynamics of both the salesperson and the customer. Dan Lok introduces the concept of viewing sales not merely as transactions, but as a psychological battle where emotional intelligence and mindset are crucial. The significance of this philosophy lies in its holistic approach to dominating sales. By prioritizing psychological readiness, salespeople can build genuine connections, anticipate objections, and tailor their communication to meet the emotional and logical needs of their clients. It underscores the importance of resilience, confidence, and empathy in the sales process, making it an essential aspect of Dan Lok's teachings. A real-world application of Lok's sales philosophy is his emphasis on the high-ticket closing technique. This involves selling high-value products by deeply understanding the customer's pain points and connecting on an emotional level. Another example is his training programs, where he focuses on developing a salesperson's mindset to handle rejection and failure positively, thereby transforming potential setbacks into learning experiences and growth opportunities. Supporters of Dan Lok's approach argue that traditional sales training often overlooks the psychological component, which can be a differentiator between average and exceptional sales performance. By focusing on mindset and emotional intelligence, his philosophy is praised for empowering salespeople to understand and influence the decision-making process effectively. However, there are challenges and controversies associated with this approach. Critics might argue that an overemphasis on psychological tactics could lead to manipulative practices that exploit consumer vulnerabilities. Others may point out that while psychological strategies are vital, they should complement, not replace, fundamental sales skills and product knowledge. Additionally, some traditionalists may find the approach to be too abstract, preferring concrete techniques over mindset shifts. Dan Lok's psychological approach to sales intertwines with other aspects of sales training by fortifying the foundational skills with a strong mental framework. This enhances a salesperson's ability to remain calm under pressure, adapt to different personality types, and ultimately close deals more effectively. As a component of his broader sales methodology, this mindset-centric approach fosters a more resilient and adaptive sales force capable of thriving in various market conditions. Thus, understanding and applying Dan Lok's sales philosophy can lead to transformative results in both personal and professional sales environments. Understanding the psychology of sales is about grasping the mental and emotional dynamics that underpin buyer behavior. This concept encapsulates how sales professionals can effectively engage and influence potential clients by aligning their sales approach with the psychological triggers that drive purchasing decisions. The psychology of sales is a critical component of Dan Lok's approach to dominating sales because it addresses the foundational elements that permit sales to be more than just a transactional interaction. It transforms them into meaningful, lasting relationships. By understanding psychological principles such as urgency, scarcity, and social proof, salespeople can tailor their strategies to resonate deeply with clients' needs and desires. The significance of understanding this psychology lies in its ability to transform ordinary sales strategies into powerful, empathetic interactions. This approach not only enhances the likelihood of closing sales, but also builds trust and rapport, crucial for generating repeat business and fostering customer loyalty. For instance, a real-world application of this concept can be seen in how businesses utilize scarcity by implementing limited-time offers. This psychological trigger instills a sense of urgency, prompting quicker decision-making from buyers. Another example is in the use of testimonials or case studies that demonstrate social proof, providing prospective clients with reassurance through the positive experiences of others. Supporters of this approach argue that aligning sales techniques with human psychology allows for more authentic and effective engagement with customers. It is not merely about persuasion, but about understanding and fulfilling the genuine needs and aspirations of the client. However, potential challenges and controversies arise when these tactics are perceived as manipulative rather than beneficial. Critics may suggest that if used unethically, exploiting psychological triggers could lead to mistrust and damage brand reputation. Understanding the psychology of sales is not an isolated aspect. It intricately connects with other components of Dan Lok's strategies, such as communication skills and negotiation tactics. Insight into psychological principles enriches these aspects, ensuring that communication is not just about the transfer of information, but also about emotional resonance. In negotiation, understanding the other party's mindset can lead to outcomes that are mutually beneficial rather than adversarial. In sum, mastering the psychology of sales empowers professionals to transcend traditional methods and achieve a competitive edge. It's about knowing what makes people tick and using that insight responsibly to create win-win scenarios for both sellers and buyers, thereby cementing long-term success in sales. Building emotional connections with clients is the process of establishing and nurturing a relationship that transcends the transactional nature of sales and delves into personal rapport and trust. This concept is pivotal because, in the realm of sales, emotional connections create a foundation upon which long-term relationships and customer loyalty are built. Dan Lok, a renowned name in high-ticket sales training, emphasizes the psychological edge of understanding and leveraging emotions to dominate the sales process. Emotional connections enhance communication and foster a sense of mutual respect and understanding, which can lead to higher conversion rates and customer retention. The significance of building emotional connections in sales lies in the ability to empathize with clients' needs and concerns, which in turn facilitates better tailored solutions. When clients feel understood and valued beyond just their purchasing power, they are more likely to trust and validate the seller's intentions. For instance, instead of a rigid, numbers-driven pitch, a salesperson might take the time to listen actively to a client's story or challenges, thereby offering solutions that speak personally to the client's circumstances. One real-world application involves salespeople using emotional intelligence to read clients' body language, tone, and emotional cues to adapt their approach accordingly. This might mean slowing down the pitch if a client seems overwhelmed, or infusing enthusiasm if the client appears unsure. Another example is a follow-up strategy that includes personalized messages or check-ins that demonstrate genuine concern for the client's satisfaction or life events, irrespective of any immediate sales incentive. Supporters of this approach argue that emotional connectivity leads to a more humanized, relatable sales experience, fostering deeper client loyalty and a sustainable business model. However, some critics argue that the emphasis on emotional connections could blur the boundaries between professional and personal interactions, possibly leading to manipulative practices where emotions are exploited for sales gains. Additionally, skepticism might arise concerning the authenticity of such connections, particularly if they are perceived as mere sales tactics. Building emotional connections with clients directly influences other aspects of sales, such as negotiation, objection handling, and customer service. A client who feels emotionally connected to a salesperson may be more open to discussing potential hesitations, leading to more effective resolutions. By creating a trusting environment, emotional connections can significantly enhance the overall sales strategy, ensuring that clients remain central to the process, thus giving businesses a competitive psychological edge. Mastering objection handling techniques is a crucial element in the realm of sales, particularly when exploring the psychological strategies employed by Dan Lok to dominate the field. Objection handling refers to the process of addressing and overcoming potential customer concerns or doubts during a sales engagement. This ability is vital, as it can transform a skeptical prospect into a satisfied customer, thereby increasing sales success. The significance of mastering objection handling lies in its power to turn resistance into opportunity. By skillfully navigating objections, sales professionals can build trust, demonstrate empathy, and reinforce the value of their offerings. This process not only facilitates closing the sale, but also establishes a foundation for long-term customer relations, which is quintessential in Dan Lok's approach to creating a strong psychological edge in sales. Consider a real-world example. A potential client may hesitate to purchase a high-ticket coaching program due to its price. A sales professional who has mastered objection handling might empathize with the cost concern, highlight the value and long-term benefits of the program, and offer testimonials from past clients. By addressing specific objections with confidence and clarity, the salesperson can alleviate concerns and guide the prospect towards a buying decision. Another application might involve a technology product where a prospect is unsure about its compatibility with current systems. Here, adept objection handling involves providing detailed information, possible integration solutions, and reassurance of ongoing support, all aimed at reducing the prospect's anxiety and demonstrating the product's value. Opinions from seasoned sales experts often underscore the importance of objection handling as a core skill. Many assert that beyond techniques, a salesperson's attitude rooted in empathy and a genuine desire to help is pivotal in effectively managing objections. This perspective aligns with Dan Lok's emphasis on the psychological aspects of sales, wherein understanding human behavior and motivation is paramount. Nevertheless, there are potential challenges and controversies in this approach. Some argue that overly aggressive objection handling may come across as pushy or insincere, alienating prospects rather than winning them over. It requires a delicate balance of assertiveness and empathy to execute effectively. Mastering objection handling not only supports sales teams in closing deals, but also enhances their capability to build rapport and trust with clients, integral to Dan Lok's broader sales philosophy. This skill interconnects with other sales strategies, such as active listening and tailoring presentations, making it indispensable in achieving a dominant psychological edge in sales. Through refined objection handling techniques, sales professionals can effectively convert resistance into powerful opportunities for success.